The air inside the observation chamber was still and cool. It smelled of recycled oxygen and the faint, clean scent of the polymeric walls. The being known as the Keeper stood before the vast transparency, its multifaceted eyes reflecting the serene blue curve of the planet below. Its assistant, a younger being of the same slender, chitinous species, manipulated a control panel with delicate appendages. The final atmospheric analysis is complete. Keeper, the assistant chimed, its voice a soft, melodic hum. The terraforming protocol is a 99.9% success. Nitrogen-oxygen balance is ideal. Toxin levels are negligible. The biosphere is stable, resilient, and empty. Awaiting your command to initiate Phase Gamma, population seeding. The Keeper did not move for a long moment. Its gaze was fixed on a single landmass, where a great river cut through a continent of lush green. A project of 700 cycles, it finally said, its tone low and resonant. A masterpiece of planetary engineering. And yet, a vital piece of data remains missing. The historical surveys are exhaustive, the assistant offered, scrolling through holographic records. The dominant sentient species, self-designated humanity, achieved a Type 1 civilization. Then, their global communications ceased approximately 500 cycles ago. Scans show no energy signatures consistent with advanced technology. No orbital infrastructure. No city-scale thermal readings. The logical conclusion is self-annihilation, a common enough fate. The planet is, for all functional purposes, a pristine garden. We are the gardeners. The Keeper turned, its carapace glinting under the soft light. Logic is a tool. It is not wisdom. We have scanned for power plants and plasma signatures. But did we scan for smoke? Smoke, Keeper? Primitive combustion. Organic fuel. The signature of a fire, not a fusion reactor. The Keeper gestured to the planet. Deploy Probe 7 to these coordinates. Deep Valley. Temperate zone. Use passive optical and olfactory sensors only. No active scans. No energy emissions. The assistant complied, its movements hesitant. This was an irregularity, a deviation from the meticulous terraformer's checklist. The probe, a silent mirrored sphere, fell through the atmosphere like a drop of dew. The image that resolved on the main viewer was one of profound, unengineered peace. A deep valley, carpeted in a mix of native flora and terraformed grasses, cradled a slow, clear river. Forests of tall, dark-barked trees climbed the slopes. And there, on a gentle rise beside the water, was a thread of smoke. It rose from the chimney of a structure made of local stone and timber, its roof covered in a thick layer of soil, from which wildflowers bloomed dot around the house were rows of cultivated plants. Neat, ordered lines of green stood in stark contrast to the gentle chaos of the meadow. A human was at work there. An aged male, his skin leathered by sun, his hair a shock of white against the earth-toned clothes he wore. He was using a simple tool, a length of sharpened metal on a wooden handle, to turn the soil. The assistant made a sound of pure confusion. A survivor? A single primitive? This changes nothing. He is an anomaly, a biological relic. The protocol for non-interference with pre-technical sentience is clear, but this is a single individual. We can relocate him. The garden is ready for our people. Watch, the Keeper instructed, its voice barely a whisper. The human straightened, a hand pressed to the small of his back. He looked not at the sky, but across his garden with an expression that the Keeper, a student of 1,000 extinct cultures, recognized as deep contentment. He walked to a fruit tree, touched a low-hanging branch with a reverence that seemed to physically calm him, and then moved to a small shed. From it, he led a large, shaggy beast of burden. It was not a species from the terraformer's catalog. It was a remnant, a creature that had walked with humanity for millennia. The human hitched it to a simple wooden plow and began to prepare a new section of earth. The act was slow, methodical, a partnership between being, animal, and land. "He is not surviving," the keeper said after a long silence. "He is living. There is a difference." "But the scans," the assistant protested, calling up data. "No electricity. No machinery beyond basic metallurgy. He is using animal labor and hand tools. This is a regression to a pre-industrial state." "It is a tragedy, is it?" The keeper zoomed the view. The probe's sensitive microphones picked up the sound of the wind, the river, the snort of the beast, and the human's quiet, tuneless humming. "We came here to build a garden because our own world is a monument to efficiency. Every square meter is optimized, every biological function directed. We create beauty, but it is a calculated beauty. We seek a new home to escape the sterile perfection we have made. Look at him. He has no sensors monitoring soil pH. He has no genetic optimizers tailoring his crops. Yet, look at the vibrancy of the green. See how the insects pollinate the blossoms. He works with the world, not upon it. He listens to it." The human finished his plowing. He then took a woven basket and moved along the rows, harvesting. He would pick a pod, sometimes selecting one, sometimes leaving another. He spoke to his plants, gentle words the probe could not translate, but whose tone was unmistakable. Encouragement, gratitude. In the evening, the human sat on a stone seat outside his home. He did not look at a screen or commune with a network. He watched the sunset paint the clouds in shades of orange and purple. He watched two moons begin their slow climb. The large, shaggy animal came and rested its head on the man's knee. The human scratched behind its ears. The silence was not empty. It was full, the assistant observed, its earlier certainty beginning to fray. "He is alone. Surely that is a form of suffering." "We do not know that," the keeper said. "We measure social cohesion by communication density. His cohesion is with this valley, with that beast, with the seeds he plants. We came to seed a world with our own people, to build a new, less perfect home." But what if the garden is not empty? What if it already has its gardener? The council expects a report. They expect the initiation of Phase Gamma. Billions await transport. This is one old human. And what is our prime directive? The keeper asked. To preserve the natural development of sentient life. To not interfere. Precisely. His development is here. His sentience is rooted in that soil. To seed our population would be the gravest interference. It would not be colonization. It would be an eradication of a way of being we have forgotten. A way of being we came here seeking. The keeper turned from the viewer, its decision solidifying. We will not violate this garden. We will observe. We will learn. The assistant was stunned. What will we tell the council? We will tell them the truth. That the planet is inhabited by a sentient species. That their civilization has undergone a profound transformation. That they have achieved a sustainable, harmonious existence. And that, therefore, it is protected under the Galactic Charter. They will demand proof of a civilization, of technology, of societal structures. The keeper gestured to the screen, where the human was now lighting an oil lamp inside his home, the warm glow spreading across the handmade furniture, the shelves of preserved food, the tools hung with care. There is his technology, the plow that breaks the earth without poisoning it, the seed that holds tomorrow's food, the lamp that pushes back the dark. There is his society. It is a compact between himself, the creatures in his care, and the living world. Its structure is the cycle of the seasons, the flow of the river, the turning of the soil. We scan for megawatts and find none, and so we declare the planet silent. But he is not broadcasting a signal. He is the signal. A continuous, unbroken signal of care. The probe remained in orbit, a silent witness. Seasons changed on the valley. The human planted, tended, harvested, and rested. He was not a lord of the world. He was a participant. One day, the keeper watched as the human carefully saved seeds from his best plants, storing them in clay pots with meticulous labels. He was not just growing food for himself. He was curating a future. The keeper filed its report. It was contested, debated, and finally, after much analysis of the probe's data, accepted. The human was declared the legal steward of the planet. The terraforming fleet, with its cargo of sleeping billions, turned away. They would search for another, truly empty world. The last command the keeper gave was to the probe. It was instructed to maintain its silent vigil, to record the garden's rhythms, and to broadcast a single repeating signal on a secure frequency, a beacon not of conquest, but of preservation. A note in the galactic record that this world and its quiet, steadfast gardener were under protection. Years passed in the valley. The human's hair grew lighter, his movements slower, but his routine never faltered. One autumn afternoon, as the leaves turned to fire, he did not rise from his seat by the garden. The large beast nuzzled his hand, then lay down beside him, keeping watch. In the observation chamber, now orbiting a different star, the keeper received the final data packet. It showed the peaceful scene, the cycle complete. The assistant, now older and wiser, stood beside it. "He is gone," the assistant said, its hum sorrowful. "The garden is unguarded. Perhaps now the protocol." "No," the keeper said, its eyes on the frozen image. "Look." The probe's long-range sensors showed the valley. It showed the seeds, scattered by wind and creature from the human stores, taking root in new ground. It showed the fruit tree's heavy W.